Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and I am so excited to be here with you all on tonight. It is going to be amazing. Our guest is amazing, and I am so excited to introduce him to you all. And hey, we're going to go ahead and get started here. You guys know the preliminary things. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, please go out and subscribe now. So click on that subscription button at the top of your screen. Once you get done with that, also click on notify so you can be notified every time a video is uploaded to YouTube. And then while you're there, go ahead and click on like so that this can get shared with other people just like you. Now, if you're on the go, you can always listen to the podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts, as well as Spotify and iHeart Radio. And then lastly, if you're not following me on, cut that off. So if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, you can go out and follow me on both of those platforms. I am the Dope Ass Dude podcast on both IG and TikTok. Again, that is the Dope Ass Dude podcast on both of those platforms. And then tonight, I'm really excited about our guest. So excited. I want to tell you guys to go ahead and follow him on Instagram and TikTok as well. On Instagram, he is D_Reed_mindset go. And then on TikTok, he is Derrick Mindset Go. So I'm really excited to have him here on tonight. He's a phenomenal guy. I have watched him on TikTok. I followed him a while on TikTok now, and he just joined the 50 Club this year. So, hey, welcome, Derrick. Happy to have you part of the group. And yeah, he just joined the 50 Club this year. And then not only that, he is a Cancer, which you guys know I'm a Cancer as well, who are the best people in the world. So I'm really excited to have him on the podcast tonight. He's an entrepreneur. He's a podcast host. He is the host of the Cuts Convo and Coffee podcast, Cuts Convo and Coffee podcast, as well as an author. The book is Mindset Go, and it is a phenomenal book. I listened to it on Apple Books, and I've completed the book. And when I tell you, it is phenomenal. And everybody know the Four Agreements is like one of my favorite books. I read it when I first started my journey of living better and being better. And when I tell you, his book remind me so much of that book because it has some of the same principles and encouraging words as that book has. So I was really inspired as I was listening to the book, and I know that you guys will be as well. So we're going to go ahead and get Derrick on out here because I don't want to prolong this any longer.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Derrick, man? How you
What's
doing,
going
brother?
on? I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I am amazing. I am amazing, man. I am so
Awesome, man.
happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate this, man. And not long ago we kind of connected. And, yo, man, let's make it happen, man. I was happy that you even reached out to me, man. I appreciate that so much, man. Humbly. Yes.
Absolutely. And like I tell everybody that's on here, and I heard a lot of this in your book today, I'm big on divine connections and divine timing. And I believe we are all connected for a
Yes.
bigger reason than what we could ever imagine. So I know our
Awesome.
connection is bigger than this podcast. So I'm
Well
really
said.
excited to see what the future brings
Well
about.
said. Well said. Awesome, man. Awesome. Sounds great, man. I love
So
the
Derek,
name of the
tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, you know what? We talked a little bit off camera, and you said, "Well, welcome to the 50 Club." I don't know if you said it on camera yet, but I just turned 50 years old, so you know what I mean. I'm happy. They said life started at 40, but ever since I turned 50, it's like the clock has turned back or something. So I'm really enjoying myself. I grew up in Riverside Projects over in Wilmington, Delaware. And I started out as a barber, believe it or not. I was cutting the kids' hair around the neighborhood and stuff like that. And I was one of those kids who actually couldn't afford a haircut. And we couldn't afford to go to no barber shop, so other kids couldn't. And then I started cutting hair, in my mom's house until I got so big that, hold up, too many people come in this house. Bless her, bless my mom, Hardy, Lisa Reed, love you. And then I ended up going to a barber shop, and I think that there, John, I think I just learned most of the entrepreneur skills. And from there, I just launched other companies, construction company, transportation company, got to author, I even wrote plays and all that stuff. So it's been a journey, but it's been a great journey. But yeah, in a nutshell, I started from the projects, and now I'm headed towards progress. So from projects to progress.
Wow. And yeah, I know your hair cutting journey started with you and a buddy of yours. Y'all found some clippers in his
Yes,
mom's house and
yes,
y'all started cutting hair in your mom's house. And I
yes.
liked how you described it like the guys thought that they were about to get because they had afros and they wanted, I guess, some
Oh
type of
yeah,
haircut.
did
And
not
they
leave no
left
effort.
bald headed.
That's the truth. Marcus Howard, my first guy ever cut. I just see him on Facebook. It's funny. He came in with like a box face. Some came with afros, but trust me, at that age, I'm 13, 14 years old. You didn't leave with the afro. Y'all know who cut it. Maybe it just grew into that, but you didn't. We didn't leave that way because we either messed up or tore them up some kind of way and off it goes. So, so yeah, man.
And that's
Yeah.
amazing because it's funny how especially at a younger age, we just do things and we just think that we're doing it, but it is part of our overall divine purpose and our calling
Mm,
for life. Because
mm.
you turned out, you went to barber school, and in your book it talks about how you had like people waiting outside,
Yeah.
for your services. So that's
Yeah.
pretty phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, I was some mentor, someone's ordered me, said, "Hey man, I think we coming in the shop, I think at 9 o'clock at one time." And he was like, "Yo, you can really make more money and the early bird gets the worm and all that stuff." And I started coming at 7 a.m. But I got so popular in cutting hair, my clients would have to show up 3 in the morning and 4 in the morning. So mind you, I'm still home asleep because I'm only a half hour away from the shop I was working at. So I'll pull up at 7 o'clock. People getting off work 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, they come right to the barber shop. And I get out, all I hear is car door shut, blah, 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 blah. And mostly like popular barbers that's really, really good, they know this story too. So I'm not the only one, but for me, that was my experience. I get there 6:55, 6:55, 30 people outside. 30
Oh
people.
wow.
Can
Wow.
you
And I
imagine
know
that?
you started your goal was 100 cuts per week, something like that.
Well, yeah, yeah. It's funny. I did this. I talked about that on Instagram. The thing went up to maybe like quarter, half a million people hit it up and stuff like that, and it became one of the most popular posts about me doing 100 hits a day. So that's what it was. 100, almost 100 hits a week. You're correct. 100 hits a week. So it started with me cutting hair at 9 o'clock, but every time I would move it back a half an hour, I was able to get more hits in, and I would stay from 7 in the morning to maybe 6 p.m. at night. So I ended up doing maybe 24 to 25 hits a day. And you're talking about 5 days a week, at the time from Tuesday to Saturday. So it's a lot of cutting, don't get me wrong, but you got kids every half an hour. And I just started pinning it down to a science. And I end up doing maybe like 80 hits after you get to 4 days, and then do your last 5 days, 25 hits, whatever, and you do 100 hits. You don't want to keep doing that because you will burn out. Thank God I'm retired now. But yeah, I did it for years, but then I was like, wow. So yeah.
So how did you know your purpose was bigger than that? Because you've expounded into so many different areas, like
Yeah.
you said, a construction company, a transportation company. How did you know your purpose in life was much bigger than cutting hair?
I think I tell people all the time that if you squeeze an orange, orange just come out because that's what's in it. Life got a way of squeezing us, and whatever in you is going to come out. And I have circumstances in my life that may have squeezed me, and then greatness came out. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we want to push off the bad, so-called bad things that we think happen to us, or the pressure, the stuff we go through, not having a father, growing up in the projects, and all that. All those things squeezed me, but it poured out greatness and leadership and character. Being at the shop, I started talking to people, and I have a really fond love for people, human beings. I just have that love, and people will see it too in you. God will put this light in you that just starts shining from the inside, and then everyone starts seeing it on the outside. And they don't know, but it says something about you, something different. People will call me in to do certain roles or be over certain sites, or hey man, I need advice for this. So then I started looking at myself. Oh, there must be something special, but what is it? So I started really tapping in on my gifts and my talents, which is actually connected to our purpose. So I started really realizing my talents and my gifts. So to answer your question, that would help me really find my purpose was my gifts and my talents.
Wow, I love that. And I love how you said, the light shining inside of you because in your book, it talks about you had a meeting with three ladies, and one
Yes,
of the women told you that it was a light in you. She
yes,
spoke that to you.
yeah.
And I know they had to be pretty incredible at that
That,
moment.
that that changed my life as a young guy, and I'm talking about John. I'm in my 20s, like maybe well, maybe like 26, 27 years old. And I was going to a barber school to get my instructor's license. And the owners of the school wanted to bring on another partner. Now I'm just there for as an instructor to get my license, but they saw leadership in me. But they wanted me to sit down with a lawyer. And it was a Caucasian, nice Caucasian lady sitting there at the table. And they was discussing going into business with this young 27-year-old. And they was much older than me, but they wanted to pull me in to be part of that business. They was buying a building and they wanted to expand the school. And then one of the ladies said, so at the end of the meeting, she said, so do you think, talking to the lawyer, do you think we're gonna be all right with this young man coming in? And what do you think from our conversation? The lawyer said, oh, there's no doubt in my mind. And then she turned over and looked at me and said, Derrick, you have a light inside you that I haven't seen in a long time. And she said, the world is a very dark place and they will try everything they can to put it out. She said, don't let them do it. And when she told me that, I knew I had something. I kind of already knew that, but she kind of confirmed that for me that you got a light inside you. And now I live my life where I'm not allowing anyone to put my light out.
Oh wow. Wow, that is it is amazing. And a lot of times when people speak things to us like that, we a lot of times we just be like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about, or
Yeah.
that ain't none, whatever. But that's really good that you took heed to what she said and it
Yeah.
impacted you in such a manner. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and you never know. Again, it's like throwing a pebble in the ocean, and the waves just trickle. You know what I mean? So by her imparting that into me, now I impart to that in so many other people. And look at that wave that she started. And I don't even know the lady's name. I just know she was a lawyer, and she said that to this young man. And you never know what you can say to someone that will trickle and start the waves for to help other people to make this world better. And I think that's really what it's about anyway, to make the world a better place. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's get into the book, man, because I'm really excited about that. So let's talk about. Yeah, I'm
Doing
telling you,
good.
man, I'm
You
ready,
doing
brother.
good. You doing good.
So let's talk about the blue pill because you opened it up talking about the blue pill and the red pill. Let's talk about
Yeah.
the blue pill because I think this is the pill a lot of us have taken and don't
Yes.
realize that we've taken
Yes.
it.
Yes. I started out that chapter, which is first chapter, with the blue pill and the red pill because I was watching The Matrix. You know what I mean? And he brought Neo into the room, and Lawrence Fishburne, who played the guy in there, I forget the guy name in there, but Neo
Was it
and who was the
Morpheus?
guy? Morpheus. So Morpheus. So he said, hey, you got a choice. Here's a blue pill and a red pill. The blue pill says that keep on believing, keep on drinking the Kool-Aid, keep on believing what everybody tells you, keep on being what everybody else is being, keep going throughout your life being blind. A lot of people are talking about they're woke now, but you know what? You may be woke, but a lot of people are blind still. You know what I mean? Yeah, you woke, but you're blind. but and he's saying that it's a lot of people walking around in this darkness and thinking this is the way. Or you could take this red pill and you can learn what this thing really is about. You can learn about who you really are. You can learn the truth. You know what I mean? So the red pill represents the truth. A lot of people don't want to go down that rabbit hole because we've been conditioned and refined on certain beliefs or certain understandings and things that you've been taught from a child all the way up that you just believe. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that you hear even in the news that you've been believing this all your life, and it's not even true. I'm a person that I probe, so I started probing, but what caused me to probe because I wanted truth, Jay. I wanted to know why this has happened. Why am I here? We all get to a point in our life where we want to know our purpose in life. We want to know why we're here, what we're supposed to be doing, and all that. And people looking at us right now, say, that's me. I really want to know why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing. So I started searching that, and I connected it to the red pill, which represents truth and understanding. I didn't want to just believe stuff, Jay. I want to know stuff. And it sounds funny, and I might say some stuff that sounds like, a little left, but let me tell you something. When I was young, I used to see the word believe all the time. And I used to believe that that was just a great word. And so I looked it up, not saying it's not, but I looked it up and said, believe is to accept something as being true. Look it up in your dictionary. That don't make it true. That just means you accept it as being true. And the fact that you can't spell the word believe without the word lie. I didn't like that because the positive word got lie right in the middle of it. You know what I mean? But when I started getting knowledge of stuff and learning things through experience, through knowing and knowledge, because you can't spell knowledge without the word know, K-N-O-W, which I thought was positive. So I wanted to know things. I didn't want to just believe stuff and just accept it because you told me. I didn't want to accept it because I read it somewhere, and that's what we do. We listen to people say stuff on the media all the time. We listen to people teach us stuff, uneducated, or it's sometimes people that think they are educated, But for the most part, you just believe in it. But tell me what you know. And that's what I
Yeah.
want to do. I want to get the red pill. Well, I want to know. I'm sorry. It's nothing wrong with knowing.
Yeah, because I think I had taken the blue pill and was living by it for forever, to be honest with you, because I think, like one thing I read before, and I think this is so true, like a lot of our fears and a lot of the blue pills are disguised as morals. And
Yes.
morals in most cases are our parents and our teachers and leaders' fears that
Yes.
they've experienced, and they will teach us, well, that's not right for you to do, or you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't,
Good point.
because of their own
Yes.
their failed attempts at something. And we
Yeah.
go our entire lives living by those principles. And
Right.
we don't realize, like, until you say you get older and you realize, no, that was your experience. That's your truth, not
I
my
totally agree.
truth.
I
And
totally
you
agree.
you come into the realness of what life is supposed to be about.
Yeah, I think even growing up, I grew up in the projects. The whole project life. Me and my dad passed about 7 years ago. But he came back into my life around teenage. We became real cool. I understand. I found out that he was actually really a great guy. It's just that him and his mom, my mom didn't get along for whatever reason. I wish he kind of stayed around, but if he stayed around, who knows what I'd be D Reed and who I am as a great father. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because I always wanted the father, so I'm there for my kids. But my mom and them used to say this all the time to my sister and brother. You do as I say do and not as I do. That's what they said. And we believe that. But kids learn by example. They learn by what they see. You know what I mean? But your mom telling you the whole time, don't do that. You know what I mean? Which is wrong in my eyes. You know what I mean? We do what we see, and you got to be a good role model for your kids. I ain't saying you got to be perfect, but they don't just learn by what you say because half the time they're not listening to the damn thing you're saying, but they
Yeah.
will watch what you do.
Yeah.
And that's what we was doing, watching you, mom and dad. So, but we believe
Yeah.
that. We believe that. We accept that as being truth. That don't make it true.
Don't make
So
it true. Don't make it true. And those of you who have taken the blue pill, we hoping by the end of the night, you
yeah.
switch over to the red pill. So
Let's
let's talk
go to
about this
river.
red pill, man. Let's talk about the truth,
So the
living
truth,
the truth.
the truth, living the truth. I think with me is researching, probing, I mean, testing it out, testing it out to see if it's factual. Don't just listen to what people say. What do you understand, about yourself? Most people walk around, honestly, Jay, they live in their mind or they live in emotions. And at the same time, as me getting older, spiritually mature, and all types of levels of maturity, I realized that I'm not my mind and I'm not my emotions, and I am a person, I'm a soul. Most of the time that's connected to your what we call our gut feeling. That's who you are. Because people don't even know what they are. You can be talking to somebody now and you're actually dealing with their mind and their emotions, and you can't get through and you don't know why. It's because they have allowed their emotions and their mindset, which is almost like our computer inside of our body, to take the front seat and the passenger seat and put you in the back seat of who you are. You know what I mean? So what you have to rearrange that, and you got to become under the steering wheel of truth of your life, and put that emotions in the back seat, and grab that mind every time you need it and sit it back. A lot of people are walking around this world and they live in their mind and their emotions, and they can't understand why everything haywire. It's because you're living in that truth and not the truth of who you are. Once you figure out who you are, and that's that soul, that person on the inside, that gut feeling that you would never lead you into nothing wrong. Your mind can lead you wrong, and your emotions can lead you wrong. That's why people say never act on those, because it's not who you are. But that gut feeling will make you do what you know is right, even when it don't feel right.
So
So,
how do you get past, because a lot of times, so how do you get past listening to the gut?
whew,
I mean, to listen to the gut feel. How do you get past fear and the emotions and so forth to actually listen to the gut? Because sometimes our minds are so noisy, and I think that's what is going on with a lot of people. Their minds are so noisy because they have all of these different thoughts and voices in their head that they
yeah.
can't listen to anything because it all sounds the same. So how
Well,
do you get to that gut feeling, listening to that gut feeling?
Well, I'm a true believer that whatever you feed will exceed. So, a lot of times we feed in our mind, which is again, that's kind of like your database. That's like your computer that's in your head. And then you got your emotions, something that you're fed all the time. You just quick to act on your emotions. So what happens if you feed those things so much, it becomes stronger than who you really are, and it overpowers, or it becomes louder than your gut. You know what I mean? When you are in that type of a zone, you really are in a red zone. You know what I mean? Now your gut is never going to go nowhere, even if it's whispering. It's never going to just disappear. You know what I mean? Because it's connected to something else. It's called the conscience. You know what I mean? Your conscience of who you are in your gut. You're going to have to pay attention of how many times your mind and your emotions got you in trouble, and how far have you gotten with your mind and your emotions. What did it do in your personal situation? What have you done in your personal relationships that your mind and your emotions got the best of you, and now they have you on the short end of the stick? You know what I mean? Or how many times your emotions tell you to do this because it felt right? You know what I mean? And it actually wasn't right. You know what I mean? And you didn't listen to that small voice that always talks to you in your gut. That's who you are, your gut, your person. That's the core of you. You're down to zero right here. Boom. And you haven't been feeding that. So once you pay attention of how many times your mind and your emotions have got you on a short end stick, then you'll get tired. Because a lot of times you will get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You start feeding who you are as a person and act on what you know and not what you feel. So once you start feeling what you know is right and what you feel is connected to who you are, that's who I am. I know it's right, you know? And then you start strengthening that person and start feeding that. And that's what you want to feed. You know, and that's come through meditation too. I'm a big person that meditates, where I need to get centered because the world becomes noisy to me. Being a CEO, an author, a father, a husband, and running through all these things that I got going on. I got employees, a lot of employees, you know. In some of my businesses, they're a little stressful. It's sometimes, John, it gets so noisy that it's like I have to meditate. I have to get back to zero. I have to get back to centering myself because I want Derek to make the right decisions. Because if I don't, then I'll be acting out in my mind and my emotions. And a lot of times it just don't lead me in the right direction.
Yeah. Wow. So I was recently listening to, because I know we're saying get to the truth. The red pill is supposed to bring the truth. It's
Mm,
supposed to be the truth. So I was listening to a conversation. It was between Bishop T.D. Jakes and Charlemagne on disruptive. It was called the
mm,
disruptive conversation. And
okay.
Bishop Jakes mentioned that there is your truth, my truth,
Mm,
and the truth. And
and
most
be
people
true.
are, yeah, the truth. Most people are not getting to the truth. So how do somebody get to, once they awaken, or how do you get to the truth? Because our truth is sometimes biased. It's
Right.
catered to us, what make us feel good. And change don't always feel good.
I agree. Yes.
Being
Yeah.
woke don't always feel good. Sometimes it's
That's right.
uncomfortable. So,
Or lonely.
exactly, and lonely.
Yeah.
So how do you get to the truth?
And this depends on what truth we're talking about, because there's a lot of truths out there. You know, even with religion and stuff, you got people that are religious who think they're spiritual, and you know what I mean. And religion really has nothing to do with being spiritual. It's just that you do. I could go drink a cup of water every Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. I do it religiously. That's something I would do religiously, you know. But religiously, it's still tied into a belief system. That's why we have so many different. Not to get too deep on religion, and all that stuff. People saying different things because what they're doing is saying, "This is what I believe." Which only affects you. See, once we get into a belief system of an argument, the argument is really over because I can't change what you believe. You know what I mean? You can't change what I believe. You know what I mean? So that's why we got so many different religions going, saying this and saying that. But when you get to the truth is going to affect everybody because the truth is going to be what it is no matter what. It's going to be the knowledge of it. You know what I mean? It's just, that's going to center you. That's going to be like, hey, without us, the truth is going to be what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? If I say it's tree outside my house, I mean, you see the tree. Growing up, it's no conversation. We see it. We know it's there. You know what I mean? Another thing is, if it's true, you don't have to believe it. You never have to believe into anything that is. You don't have to believe into anything that's real to you. If it's real, you know what I mean, then you don't have to believe it. You know it. That's like me saying, John, do you believe I'm talking to you on this podcast right now? You look at me like I'm crazy. You don't have to say that. You know I'm talking to you on this podcast. It's like, do I believe it? No, I know you're here. Why? You have knowledge of it. You visual. You see it. You hear me. All those things that come into the know. But when you get into the belief system and so all of us going, oh, the conversation's over. I don't even get into conversations with people. Oh, well, that's what I believe. Okay, cool. The conversation's over. But I'm not interested in what you believe. I want what you know because that's going to affect everybody.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And you talk about that a lot in your book, believing and knowing, because you was talking about, it was sometimes it was a story you tell about, I think it was a book or something you
Mm,
read, and um the guy, no, it was an interview. They interviewed a guy about shooting a shot. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a famous basketball player, I believe. And they asked him, how did he believe he was going to make the shot or something like that? And he said, no, I didn't believe it. I knew it.
Knew it was going in.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yes. Ray Allen. So Ray Allen, it was during the Miami, he was playing, I believe, might have been Dallas Mavericks or whatever. It was a championship game. And he hit the winning shot. Boom. And that sent it to overtime. I believe it sent it to overtime. I don't know if it was to win the game, but it was a big shot that caused him to win the game. And they asked him at the end of the game, the lady was talking to him. I watched the interview, and he said, so how do you feel about this shot? I mean, did you believe that you're going to make it? He said, no, I knew I was going to make it. He knew that he was going to make it. He didn't have to believe it because it was real to him. He already knew that once I line up here, I jump above this high, I shoot my arms, I look at the rim, my eyes full, I snap my wrist like the way I'm supposed to do it. I know it's going to go in. And he knew that it became real to him. And again, I said before, we don't have to believe in anything that's real. People ask me all the time when I talk spiritual and about religion, do you believe in God? Guess what I say? No, because I don't have to believe in God. I know there's a God because they're proof. Why? Because I exist and I didn't create myself. And if I didn't know it was a God, whatever created me is way more intelligent than me. That's God to me. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. So when I tell them no, they look at me crazy. No. You're part of a belief system. But I don't have to believe in anything that's real. If it's real, you don't have to believe it. You know it. Why we keep saying that, I don't understand. But
and it's good that you're talking about that, because I think and we just talked Christianity and all this religion.
Yeah.
We are taught if we know something, it's a sense of arrogance. So like I always tell people all the time, people walk up to you and they'll say, oh, D, you sure this scene good today? Our normal reaction is, oh, it all goes up above. It all goes up to the Father.
You don't want no credit.
We don't want no credit. We don't want no credit.
No, I want my credit, John. If I go to tear the house out, tell me. You know what I mean? Tell me. I'm sorry.
We don't want no credit for.
No credit. That's what they taught us. That's another thing that we believe. They taught us that. But then you got scriptures in their own Bible say, get credit where credit is due. I'm not going to listen. I know my word. You better listen. Get credit where credit is due. So how's that? Every time I tell you, yo, you tore it up. Give praises to. No, give me mine. If I put up there, I tore it. D-Reed, you sing the hell out of that song. Literally.
I tell people all the time, you cannot compliment the painting without complimenting the painter. So when they're complimenting you, it's okay to say thank you. I received that, because them complimenting you on your instrument is them complimenting the person who made the instrument and gave you the instrument to use.
I totally agree. That's like with me, if God gave me that gift to sing the roof off a church or off a concert venue or whatever, in my mind, I think God is sitting up in heaven saying, you did that, boy. You know what I mean? He giving me my props. You did that. Thank you for doing that for what I gave you.
but we are convinced that is a part of the blue pill. There's a part of the blue pill.
That's part of the blue pill.
That's part of the blue. We are convinced that when we accept those type of compliments, we are taking praises from God. No, we're not doing that. Again, you can't compliment the creation without complimenting the creator. Yeah. And that's what I tell people all the time.
And I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna stay there because I'll go somewhere else with that, Jay. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really to the left on that. You know what I mean? On certain things. So I like, hold up. I won't put this rule on the table. We talk about hold up. I'm the one here. What? I bought that. But you know, we got some people that's so religious. You better give thanks. No, man, I bought that. I was standing up in that barbershop. But go ahead. We good.
No, you good. And a scholar just come in, be humble in your greatness. Yeah, that's what they tell us. That's what they tell us.
Now, in this world, you gotta be a lion. And let me tell you, there is a time for humility and time for you to be humble. And that's when you got some shit. I'm sorry. That's when the time to get humble, because you're not, hey, well, I'm grateful. And I want to keep, what God has blessed me with. I want to keep what I work for. And it's humbling. You know what I mean? I'm a very grateful person. I mean, you get me the smallest gift, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But I'm grateful and I'm humble to that I'm in the position that I am. But when I'm out here trying to go get it, I'm trying to take a lion. I got the kicking doors down. Let's go. Be rocking out, But I'm on both sides with that. You got to be. I understand the humility part.
And I'm skipping a little bit here, but I know I'm skipping here a couple of chapters, but we're going to come back to it because you just said something about, when you're on, you're on. And let's talk about game on, because you said there's a fee And I'm gonna let you tell them what the fee means. Let me scroll up here.
And I won't say the
Yeah.
word because we're gonna
No,
respect
no, no,
everybody.
no, no, no. You can say the word because I'm not gonna lie. When I was listening to it, and I got to that point, and it was like, "Whoa, okay." But I loved it. You see, I put it
Yeah.
here. So let's talk about that, man.
It's funny you would bring this up. Someone called me this week. Brian called me, my boy, and he said, "Hey man, I'll come with a fee." You know what I mean? I tell people I come with a fee. You got to be careful with me. I'll come with a fee. When you out here in life and you're trying to get it, unfortunately, you won't get all the help that you expect. You know what I mean? You won't get everybody praising you and clapping you and cheering you on. You got a lot of people that, even in our culture, a lot of hate going on. It comes with the territory. You're striving, you're trying to progress. It's something that you're dealing with people mindsets, again, in emotions. So you're not really dealing with them. It's just that they want better, they see better for themselves, or they see you going hard and they wish they had that to go hard, or for whatever reason may stopping them. There is a time where I say you're going to have to be selfish. Look at me when I tell you this. You're going to have to be selfish, and you're going to have to really look out for yourself. A lot of you got good hearts. A lot of people got good hearts, and they want to pour in everybody's cup, but it's hard to pour in everybody's cup if your cup is empty. So there's going to be a time you're going to have to fill your cup up, and that's cool that you got a good heart. You want to help everyone else and pour in everybody's cup, but you can't pour unless yours is full, and you want to pour in. And I say that you can't do everything for free. You know what I mean? And not talking about this money. You got to come with a fee. And I tell people I come with a fee. How much? No, I come with a fuck everybody else. There is a time in your life, and I know they watching this podcast, they watching, they clapping. You got to come with a fee. You got to come with a fuck everybody else attitude, and you're gonna have to look out for yourself because no one cares for you except the person that's under that roof with you, and that sometimes it's you by yourself or the family members that's with you. You have to come with a fee. I've learned that you're gonna have to be selfish because you want to feed yourself, you want to feed your family, and you also got people that you do want to feed, but you can't do it unless you become selfish and help yourself before you help others. So you must come with a fee. And that's John. What? Fuck everybody else.
Yeah, exactly, brother.
You
Because
have to
and
come with
and that's another part of the blue pill, my brother, because we are taught that we are supposed to be selfless and not
who?
selfish.
Who they taught
And
us that? Who?
yeah.
They taught that hurt my heart. You brought that all the way back from slavery. Didn't they teach us that? They done taught us that. And it's embedded in us. I'm nothing. I'm zero. I don't have what?
Yeah.
No, it don't work like that. You
Yeah, yeah.
know?
And I love how you say like we have to stop putting everyone else ahead of us,
We
and I
have to.
think that we have been bamboozled into believing that we are supposed to push other people first, make everyone else first, and make ourselves last. And if you're last, I mean, you're always going to be last to eat, last to get whatever it is you want,
Yes.
last to be happy, all of that kind of stuff. Why not just go ahead and make you number one in some situations?
That's right. Meanwhile, other people and other races are butting in front of the line, cheating, not crossing every T, dotting every I, and all that stuff because of what you've been blue pilled to death with and trained to believe and all this stuff. The last shall be first and all this. You know what I mean? Whatever. Listen, man. We everybody living their heaven on earth but you, and you wait until you leave. No, enjoy your life. God gave you this breath, gave you this body, gave you this love, this care. A lot of things, your gifts and talents, your purpose, so you can enjoy and have the abundance of life. If I don't know anything about God or what you have been taught about God, I do know He's rich. I at least know that, and guess what? I want to be just like Him. I want to be just like Him. So, yeah, you have to be selfish, and I like that you said that. We've been bamboozled.
Yeah, we've been bamboozled our entire lives, and it's kind of sad because again, there are so many people out there and they're missing out. And I know we always want to say, "Well, I'm not missing out." Well, and I'll just say this here: you are making a choice not to have because you are making everyone else's needs and wants more important than your own. And I
Yeah.
think that's the danger that is holding a lot of us back.
Yeah, that's a great word. You said two great words, man. Just bamboozle, and that's the dangerous. Because what it is it's just giving you the vibe of Derek is serious. It's that serious that people are doing that, and you're forgetting the number one person, that's yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. Self preservation. You gotta take care of yourself. You can't be pouring everybody a cup if you ain't got nothing in your cup, and then they get mad at you like, oh no, I got to take care of myself. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna take care of themselves when it's all said and done. So again, you gotta come with the fee. You gotta come with that fee. FEE. Everybody like that. I come with a fee, John. John's like, oh, you know what? I come with a fee. That's right. Be careful. I come with a fee.
Come
You
with the
know.
peace. So how do you know when your cup is getting low?
Oh man. With me, when when I spread myself too thin, and I've been there before, and I had to come into the transition of the fee mindset because I was spreading myself too thin. I found that everyone was benefiting off of D Reed, but D Reed. And when you get to that point where everybody's benefiting off of you, but you, it's time that you come with a fee. It's time that you have to regroup yourself, get back to zero, you know what I mean, and start making a change. Now, it's not easy because people are not going to like the fact that you change. They love when you're just the same person in the same place, not growing, not productive, talking the same, all that, especially our people, especially that. And it comes to the point where we got to get used to change. You're going to have to change. You're going to have to elevate. It's certain habits about you that you can't even just own no more. You say, I got to get rid of that. There's a book by Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Strong book, because some people will say, well, this is just who I am. This is, I said, no, this is, well, if who you are is hindering you from progression and elevating and being the best person that you can be, the best you can be, then you need to change that habit. And to get back to the question you asked me, that's what it was with me. I started spreading myself too thin, and I realized that, hold up, I got to come with a fee. And that's where it burst the word fee. No, fuck everybody else. It's my time. I have to do it. Real shit. Real shit. So yeah.
Wow, wow. And again, it goes back to that whole mindset that we've been bamboozled to think our entire lives is
Yes.
that
Yes, sir.
you're supposed to be selfless and not selfish. And people, that's why so many people are walking around depleted,
Yes.
unhappy, tired, and that's
Yes.
mentally tired, physically tired, emotionally tired, spiritually
Yes.
tired, because they are constantly pouring out to people and never taking the opportunity to replenish, or even, and this is again, I mean,
Mm.
man, I'm telling you, bro, this is really, really good. Gonna take us out of sync again. Let me go back here.
We good. We good. We good.
Yeah. So this is why your circle and corner
Oh.
is so important, my brother. And
Oh my
let's talk
God.
about circle and corner first, and then I want to talk a little bit about relationship barriers because those are that's really, really good. So tell us a little bit about circles and corners.
Oh, this is like one of my favorite. Yeah, you are hitting like game on, like me, like man. Well, we're gonna go somewhere with this. You know that. It's great. Oh my God. Circle and corner, because people always say, I got my circle people. I got my circle people. Lo and behold, I was watching a fight, a boxing match, and I noticed that when the boxer comes down the ring, everybody know they call him the box, got spotlight on him. He come down with the entourage. What I learned about the entourage, I paid attention to them. Most of the people that's coming in his circle, that's coming down with him, he's taking care of them. You got people that's not even paying attention to him walking down the aisle because they want to make a selfie that, hey, you see me. You know what I mean? You got some singing, rapping, and stuff like that. They want to be seen on TV. This is circle people. You know what I mean? That's his circle. People that he feels that's close to me. I'm going to come on down here. And most of the people are not for him. They just there because of him. You know what I mean? He's taking care of them. Or I just want to be in the spotlight and everybody see me coming down the aisle. But what I noticed about those people, the closer he got to the ring, the closer he got up to the steps, they couldn't go into the ring. And none of them, he couldn't bring the whole entourage into the ring. He steps in the ring, and then everybody that did come in, they got to get out. You know what I mean? The ones that was already in there. So those are your circle people. The people that's connected to you, feel close. Chances are you're taking care of. Chances are they just there because of your name. They are there. You got to watch them because you can't tell them everything. They go tell everybody. You know what I mean? Those people that tell your business in your circle. But what
Your
I noticed
Sunday
that
fun day people.
your Sunday fun day people, that's your circle. Yeah, I got my circle people. But let me tell you something about those corner people. Very few people. It's not an entourage. When he got into the ring, he had two people there, his trainer and his cut man. The one that knows what's inside of him, his gifts, his talent, the ones within him with him when none of the lights was on. When the lights was out in the gym and they turned the lights out, he was there with you. The trainer, the cut man. They are only there for him. The people in your circle, oh, they just there for themselves. They want you to take care of, write them a check. Those people that's in the corner with him, the cut man, the trainer, is going to make sure that you go out here in the ring of life and make sure you got everything you need to be prepared for the fight of life. And for the boxer, it's for that fight. If you go out there in the ring, he make a mistake, the trainer brings him back. He sits him down and he stands in front of him so nobody won't see his wounds. They make sure nobody will see him bleeding, and then the cut man come in and fix him up. And a lot of times in life, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get hit. You know what I mean? But if you got some circle people, they're going to tell everybody about the hits, but not your corner. Your corner people don't do that. They cover you up. They whisper to you. They say, hey, I seen you go out there. You made a mistake. You didn't duck. Right now, or they trying to motivate you. Hey, get back up. He's not better than you. You got a better left than him. Now go out there and swing and do what I taught you. Go back out there and do that. And that's what your trainer does. And you got to be careful in life because you're going to have your circle people that's around you, not even for you. You're just there to take care of them. But your corner people are the ones that's going to have your back. Those are the ones that are going to keep your secrets. Those are the ones when you get out here and get cut and get bloodied up and are falling into the mud. They're the ones going to clean you up. They're the ones going to keep and not going to tell everybody about your business. And there's very few of them. So you got to understand the difference between your circle and your corner people. Your circle is good to have, and I love it. But your corner people are necessary. And that's the difference.
Yeah, and I loved how you said that your circle people you choose, but your corner people, they're the ones that sign up to
They
be
just
with
sign up
you.
to be with you.
Yeah.
They want to sign up to be with you. They put an application in. I want to rock out because I want to be for you. Your corner people is always for you, and that's how you separate. Those are the ones that's for you. And I'm gonna be honest, it won't be an entourage. It'll be very few people. Your corner's gonna be small. Your circle, man, I love my circle. Hey, we're gonna have a ball, we're gonna kick it. You know what I mean? Can't tell them everything. Don't tell everybody. When you make a mistake, when you fall, do something you're supposed to do, they're gonna tell everybody. There's somebody in the crew because there's a lot of them. But that corner, you got cut, wipe him off. He's bleeding. Can't let nobody do that. Don't tell nobody that. That's your corner.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that, The further you progress in life, the further you grow, and the more things, accomplishments that you have, your circle actually do get small. You're a little smaller. Or some people, maybe get even larger, become a big billionaire rapper or musician, whatever. But your corner people, they're going to be your core. They're going to be your core, man. And I thank God for my corner people,
Yeah, and I loved how you say your corner people are the people who remind you who you are. Because I think so many times in life, this is just in life in general, we do get beat down. We get beat down, and it's not so much that we forget who we are, but sometimes we doubt who we are. And those corner people are the people, like you said, they see their light shining in you. They constantly see the light shining, even when it's covered with something that may seem like it's dim.
That's right.
But the corner people always remind you who you are. And I think
yes. And they're not threatened by you. They don't care about your status. They don't care about your name, how much money you got. No, we only care about one thing. And what's that? That you win. That's all we hear. And that you are able to go out here and produce to your potential. That you are going to do what we talked about, and we know what's inside you, your gifts, your talents, and all that. We know all that. We want to make sure that you're producing with them. And that's what your corner people do. We know what's in you, and we want you to be the best that you can be.
That's what's up. So let's talk about these relationship barriers, because you give a whole lot of them in there, but I wrote down 3, but we're going to let you talk about the relationship barriers.
I got some strong ones in there, man. Some relationship barriers.
Yes,
you got
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think, and we talk about relationships because we're gonna get to relationships. That's a hot topic, for everybody. Relationship barriers. Some things that hold you back. You know what I mean? On certain choices that you have made, and we're talking about maybe with a partner or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you find out later that we're not compatible, or you done brought some baggage into the relationship and stuff like that. You don't realize it. There's a lot of things that stop you from progressing. You know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, we all gonna fall, make some mistakes, even in relationships or whatever. But it's about progress, about production. I think the whole thing about life is about production. Love is based on production, how you produce and how a person make you feel. But there are some barriers that I'm sure you got to top 3. We can talk about them, but that's what those barriers are: things that prevent you from progressing or being productive.
Okay, so fear was one of them that you talk about in your book. So let's talk about that a little bit. How does fear hold us back?
Especially fear. So fear, people got their acronyms for fear. I don't have an acronym, but you know what I mean? False evidence appearing real. People say it all the time. I heard that before. Fear is an illusion. You know what I mean? I have learned that there is healthy fears that you should have. Eckhart Tolle said in his book, "Oh, well, you won't stick your hand in the fire because you know it'll burn you." You know what I mean? That's a healthy fear. You know what I mean? You walk down the street, hear some dogs barking, especially black people, get your ass up out the way, jump on the car, whatever you got to do. That's a healthy fear. But there's certain fears that are preventing you from moving forward. Will Smith said this, and I love the fact that Will Smith said this. He said, "On the other side of fear are the best things in life." On the and I hear that all the time. Anytime fear try to rise up in me, we always have this fear because again, that's blue pill belief system of what we think might can happen. That's still blue pill mentality. We believe a certain thing. I also read somewhere where they said 99% of the things that you think in your head that's going to go wrong, 99% of the time never go wrong. You know, we can think a certain ways. I'm going to do it because this may, and you'll find out on the other side that ain't what happened. Will Smith, that's what he said. He said, God tucks the best things of life on the other side of fear. And once you realize that and go through the fear and realize it's just an illusion or just something that's trying to challenge you to see if you really want what's on the other side. You know, fear comes sometimes to challenge you because if it conquers you, you'll feel like, oh, okay. Oh, you didn't want it in the first place. But if you get past that and you say that you want something you really want it, then you'll go through something so-called fear to get it. And then you'll find out it's one of the best things or the greatest thing that ever happened to you once you got past that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So the next one was confidence. You talk about confidence.
Confidence. You know, when you're successful, you know, I mean, you've done a lot of great things. People think that I don't know why small-minded people keep dealing with minds again. Think of it as arrogance or cockiness. You know what I mean? But it's confidence. You got a lot, no, nothing wrong. You got some arrogant people out there. We can name some names. You know what I mean? That's on the media, social media, and stuff like that. But I think confidence is something that you're going to have to have. You have to have confidence. It's connected to what I say is the know. You know what I mean? You got to start knowing things again and not believing those things. You have to be confident in yourself that I know I'm going to be successful in this relationship, or I know I'm going to be successful in this job or this career. I know I'm going to be successful in this podcast. What I'm doing, you have to know that, and you're going to have that confidence. And also with the passion, I think passion is actually the secret ingredient, you know, to all your success, all your that it fuels your dreams, it fuels what you're trying to do. That's the passion. But right alongside is his cousin, and it's called confidence. And you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that confidence. You're gonna have to start knowing yourself. And I'm not against believing because I think believing is a starting point. So you know, believing yourself, that's great. I'm cool. I mean, I don't want to throw believing on the bus where you don't use it. No, I believe some things. You know, some things I can accept as being true. You know, um, it's just that I know I have to start there, but you're going to have to get to the point where you know it. Jay-Z just said it on an interview, and I know he got billions of dollars, so I know people listen to him more than me, saying the same shit I'm saying. You know what I mean? But he said, I walk in the room being myself at all times. He said, and you got to know it. You got to know that you can make it or you'll be successful. So to piggyback even off of that, you know, confidence is everything. It's the cousin of passion.
Wow. Okay, so this was my last one from that section. So, and this is pretty important, and it's probably going to apply to you. Well, not probably. I know it applies to you greatly. So, you're this creative guy. I mean, that comes through. We know you this extreme. How important was it finding the right person? Because one of your things was
Mm,
the wrong person. I think I
mm,
wrote that.
mm.
The wrong companion. That's how you labeled
Yes.
it. How,
Yes.
I mean, let's talk about that because so many of us, especially creative people, I say all the time, creative people need a special person to be with them. They
Yes.
need someone that can nurture their creativity, inspire it,
Yes.
not damper it, not try to dim it, but someone who can appreciate their uniqueness about them. So,
Yes.
how important is finding the right companion and avoiding the wrong one?
I think it's probably when it comes down to relationship, whether it's boyfriend or girlfriend or even a marriage, it may be the most important thing, especially a person that's a creative or a person that's motivated, high energy person, you know, a person that carries a light, you know what I mean? And they may carry a light too, you know what I mean? So it comes with the understanding. That's why they have to be an understanding person. A lot of times we get into relationships and you know things sometimes take off too fast. You know, you don't get to even know a person. A lot of times the person don't even know themselves. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important to really get to know that person, to understand their lifestyle, and they understand your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Per se. But it's one of those things that can actually make or break you. And if you are in a relationship and you find out, oh, we're not compatible and it's something we can't work, that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you with the wrong person or they with the wrong person. That's okay. You just got to find the right person. But it's so important that you want to be compatible in that. We all going to change. We're not going to be the same person. You know what I mean? I wasn't the same 20-year-old Derrick as I am as 50-year-old Derrick. So things change. And you also want to have someone that can actually understand that we are going to evolve and that we are going to change. Unfortunately, some people are in a relationship that a person is not compatible or a person is not growing. You may have thought they was growing at one time and now they ain't growing. You got some people that you get with that stuck in the past. They used to be a daggone basketball star in high school and they miserable. They're all 40, 30 to 40 years old. You know what I mean? Now, still today. And you can't find the cohesiveness in a relationship because they are stuck. You know what I mean? You don't want to be with someone that's stuck and you steady trying to elevate. That's right there. You're wasting time. You know what I mean? I ain't saying you just go ahead and end the relationship like that. You do what you want to do. But for the most part, it's hard for you to grow when you also got some weight. You don't want to be the only one just carrying the weight up the hill. You want help. You want someone that understands the level of pressure you on, the people you're around. Some people can't even take that. But I think, John, I think that's one of the most important things is having someone that's compatible. That understand. And I'm not saying that relationship has to be perfect. I'm not saying each person has to be perfect, but they just have to have an understanding that we can cope with each other's lifestyles and the way we progress forward.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So, and I know we're coming to an end of this hour, but just one thing I want to talk to you about for sure is that you mentioned in the book, you hired a trainer. And when you initially started out with the trainer, you were a little intimidated by him. I can't remember the guy's name. You said his name in the book.
Yeah, the Beast.
The Beast. Yeah, so you were a little intimidated by him originally, but then when you first got started, the first day you showed up, he was pretty excited to see you there. And then he came up, he said, we're about to get started. I think you guys were going to do chest and biceps or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I was intimidated by his training his ethics of training.
Yes. And he tells you to go over and do 15, I think, to 25 or 50 reps of a weight bar, the bar. And there was no weights on there. And you were so concerned about what other people were going to think about you just lifting the bar without weights.
Yeah. I go to the gym, it's packed out. And he said, yo, there's the bar. Go ahead and do about 20 reps. I'm just lifting the bar like, I'm looking around like, that ego stuff, that was some ego stuff like, man, what in the world? But go ahead.
So there are a lot of people applying that same principle with their dreams and their passions. They're worried about what other people are thinking about them. Like, I guess, sometimes God gives us visions and it doesn't make sense to everybody else, but we know what he told us to do. We can see it, but it hasn't manifested. Yes. Correctly. It hasn't manifested fully. So we're working towards it and everybody else is looking at us and we look like we're a fool doing it because they can't see it. Like Noah in the ark. Yes. They were telling him he should give up, but no, you see what happened with that.
Right.
How do you get past that, worrying about what other people are going to think or say?
Wow. You asked so many great questions, John. Listen, man, this is probably one of the best podcasts I've done. And I'm gonna tell you, the questions is just you're there, man. You're the man. Some of the biggest things that hold us back in life is two things. Number one is fear, of course, and then the fear of what others think about you. What I realized that, and this is hopefully to help a lot of people that's out there, they're not thinking about you. That's number one. And you think they are. I had to learn that people ain't thinking about you. They're not going home and think, oh, he did that. They might say it for a second, or you might heard it in the rumor, whatever, but not really thinking about you. That's number one that I had to learn. Number two, people are waiting for something different. They don't know it, but they are waiting for someone to take that next step to do something different. I used to hear quotes all the time, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and all those quotes and stuff. But I wanted to have my own quote, because I don't want to say their stuff. I'll say it, but I want to come up. What do Derrick Reed say? What do you say? Which one of the lines that you go by? And I wanted to do things different. So you have to understand that the world is waiting for you to do something different. Sometimes you're going to have to come left. You throwing a lot of stuff on the wall to see what's going to stick. And I'm tired of this society and everybody's following everybody. Even got this Instagram where everybody just follow me, follow me. But that's exactly what we're doing in the world. We're just following the trend. I remember one time we always wearing white t-shirt, jeans, and Timbs. You know what I mean? The long ones. So I was growing in the hood. That's what we were doing. But we still do that, have that same mentality, and we still just follow the norm of what everyone is doing, instead of taking time and saying, what are you going to contribute to the world? What is something different that you're going to do? What is something different that you're going to say? And the world is waiting for you. Fear and the fear of what people are thinking about you are illusions. They're not thinking about you, number one. And number two, the fear, again, on the other side of that is everything that you ask for, all the greatness that you want. So if that don't stop you to move, if that don't help you move forward, I don't know what else. But I will say this: you don't worry about what people think. You stop looking around, stay centered. They're going to follow you. You know what I mean? People in the world are looking for something different, something special. The world is tired of the same old norm, same old stuff. Those are the people who cause the moving and the shaking of this world, of the people that do something different. The people say, oh, wow. They can talk about Kanye West all you want. And I'm not a big Kanye West fan. I like Kanye West, but he's doing something different and keeping the attention right on it. Every time he come on TV, we glued in. Every time he come on with a song, we buy it. You know what I mean? He might be doing something a little out left, but it ain't the norm what everybody else is doing. So again,
Yeah.
he not, he a
And in so
billionaire.
many regards, we're taught that being different is not a good thing. We're
Mm,
taught, and they don't call it being normal, but we're told dress this way, do this, buy this, look this, drive
right.
this, drive this, and we're all becoming normal. No one is standing out.
Right. No one, and exactly, and that's exactly what's going on. And people are conditioning us. And then one thing, if you notice a theme about the book, I don't like control. Don't try to control me. I'm a grown man. Nobody can tell me nothing. Guess what? I'm not going to tell you nothing. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I don't want to tell you nothing. I want you to do it out of kindness of your heart and be who you are to me because you want to. I want to do things because I want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody saying, oh, you can't go out. You can't. No, I don't need that. You know what I mean? I don't do that. I don't control nobody. I don't have nobody controlling me. And I respect that. I used to have the fear of what people think, but that situation in the gym helped me get over that these people didn't think about me lifting this bar. They think about what they going through.
I love that. I love that. And that's one of the, like I shared it before you came out, that was one of the four agreements in the book, the four agreements. It
Good book.
says, take nothing personal because it tells
Mhm.
you somebody, you can have this dress on Monday and they're going to say, oh my God, you look amazing in that dress. You're beautiful, beautiful. And then you wear the same dress on Wednesday. That same person is going to tell you, why are you wearing that? You look a mess.
Exactly
Same
how I feel.
person. Yeah, that's
Do
how it
you,
goes.
do you, and be you. That's what I say. Do you, be you, and contribute to the world. It's all about again being productive. What are you producing? Keep producing. Keep being productive. You know what I mean? Keep living your life. You know. That's what I
Yep.
say.
So we got a question for you, D. So it
What's that?
says, do you feel that your corner people also serve as your accountability?
100%. 100%. Your corner people are definitely people that are going to hold you accountable. They don't care. The circle people, no. But your corner people, they there for you. Everything about their job and what they're doing is about you and your well-being and about your going about it's about you being out here being the best that you can be. So yes.
Wow. So, guys, as you can see, this is like one of the most amazing books ever, and it's going to
Oh my
be
gosh.
placed
Thank
in
you so
one of
much.
my favorites. No, no lie. I'm not
Oh
just
man,
saying this to
appreciate
be.
you.
It's really, really good. So, Derek, where can they get the book?
Well, you can go on Amazon number one and get the book as a paperback on Amazon. It's on Kindle. You can get the audio, which is read by me, and I'm a music type person, so it got a little piano in there and all that stuff in there, so you can get that. Also, the audio book on Kindle and what else? Audible. So you got Audible, got Kindle, and you got Amazon. But go get the book Mindset Go. I'll probably be adding another edition to it too, because I got some other stuff that I want to kind of do. But right now, that book right now not only changed my life, but it'll change your life too as well.
Absolutely. And I agree 100% with them. And I tell you guys, I listen to it on audio, well, Apple Books, and it's easy to listen to. I'm for
For sure.
you will be in chapter 10 before you know it. So
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
get the book there. And then, Derek, if they want to book you and all of that, tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, number one, you can hit me on Instagram at Derrick underscore Reed underscore mindset go. I know you already got that. Hit me up on TikTok. That's a new thing. And I got Thread too. You got Thread, John? Thread?
Nah, I ain't got thread.
you gotta go on Thread. Just go download Thread. Make sure check that out. But TikTok is Derek Mindset Go. Make sure you hit me up. And that's pretty much it. Hit me inbox on Facebook. Oh, Derrick D. Reed. So get in touch with me, man. I book me. I come. I do speaking and all that stuff. We do it all, man. Let's make it happen.
Nice. And as you guys can see, we have his booking information up there. So you can contact Ken, the number's there, or you can email at derek@trustontheway.com. So you can do all of that. So Derrick, it's one thing, and we'll close on this here because you were talking about a box. You was talking about fitting in a box and how you don't fit in boxes, how you you think outside of the box, you're not meant to fit in that. So
perfect.
Talk a little bit about that on our way out tonight. Just the whole box and not fitting into the boxes of people in most cases that don't even know who they are.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Another one. Let me say this. Most people, let me say this. There are people who think inside the box, and we know those type of people. And then you got the people who's a little bit more egoish and say, "Oh no, I think outside the box." You know what I mean? Which is pretty cool too. But when you come into a mode of enlightenment and into a mode of freedom and of consciousness, you learn that there is no box. The only box there is the one that you create for yourself. That's number one. I have a saying in my book that I say, most people say when things get right, I'll make a move. We all say that. But the reality is things get right when you make a move. That's the reality of it. So there are people that think inside the box, people that think outside the box, or you can come on to the side with me and John on where there is no box. There's limitless. I appreciate you, John. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely, my brother. This has been amazing. And someone said exactly what I said too. We need a part 2. So I already know you're going to be back, my brother. This was amazing. Those of you that are still out there, if you don't mind going ahead and clicking on that like so this can get shared with other people. And then not only click on that like, share it with your family, share it with your friends. Make sure you go out and follow Derrick on Instagram and on TikTok and
Facebook.
Facebook. And the first 2 people who hit Derrick up, he'll tell me, and I'm going to get you a book. So we will.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll arrange to get you guys a book. So first 2 people hit him up in his DM. We'll take care of you. But Derrick, thank you for coming on here tonight, man. This has been amazing.
And I'm gonna send you some books too. I'm gonna send you a couple books. So you're gonna have them in the mail. So make sure I get the email. I'm gonna get mail and dress them. I send them right on to you. Okay. Signed.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna get you back on here, my brother.
God bless
and
you,
everybody, until next Monday at 7:00, same time, we will see you. Have a great week. Don't get in the box. Don't get in your head. And hey, overdose on some red pills because that's where it's at.
Let's get the truth.
Let's get the truth. All right, then y'all see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace, y'all.